Hello folks, welcome to another video from obv-obv. Modern times again. One more interesting test match for your knowledge before the World Magic Cup qualifier. I hope you'll have enough time to see this before we play. There are good odds that you will be sporting either one of those two decks. In this case, on the left side of the screen that's Naya Burn, and on the right side it's Abzan Company. Well, Abzan Company is kind of a fringe deck, and many consider it as solely just a Tier 2 deck. I do disagree, even though I'm slightly maybe biased towards it because I've been playing the deck so much. But I had decent results with it across different tournaments multiple times. Anyways, let's get on to action. I believe the burn deck mulliganed a bit. Yes, it did. So down to 6. Also would like to point out that yes, I apologize a little bit for the a bit inclined play mats and stuff, but it was hard to adjust all the settings. But I do believe you should be able to get a clear picture of all the action, and anyways, I would let you know about all the details going on in the match. I'm yet very undecided which one do I want to play among these two decks. That's my own Magic Cup qualifier. There are pluses and minuses on both sides. So I started with the Razor Verge Thicket on turn 1 with the Bird and faced the Stomping Ground and the Goblin Guide. So not super cool. At least I had a painless land on turn 1. Tapped Temple Garden and Cartel Aristocrat and pass. I want to have a note here saying that this build for this match and for the whole playtest session that day was supported with 2 cartels in the deck and 2 seers, so I was trying out that build and I cut the Evil Leap and the Newly Down from the deck and put back 1 Wall of Roots and 3rd Quarter Calling. So I was trying that out, but for bigger events, for big premier events, I think I want to go back. So Swift Spear with the guides attacking again. Here I think I should have blocked the guide. So my plan was that because he attacked with the Swift Spear, that means that he had an instant here, right? So the bolt was no bow, and I should have blocked the guide. And then if he would decide to bolt my guy in response to the damage, I mean in response to the cartel ability, I would have gotten decent value out of this. In this case it was a bit awkward because I didn't get to eat his guy or force him to do unfavorable action. So this way I did get to keep cartel, but his guide was still in play and the bolt hit my face instead of cartel. So that was, I think, pretty big misplay on my part, but it was hard. Casting Witness, getting back to Bird, passing back, so hoping to block both guys next turn. Not looking super great here, but let's see. I think he cast a Lava Spike to my face. Ah no, he's just suspended the Rift Bolt and yeah, and the Lava Spike. No, weird. Why he had 2 mana there? Huh. That's odd. Maybe just tapped. Or I think he had just suspended 2 Rift Bolts or something? Yeah. It's a bit confusing that he put his suspended Rift Bolts out there. I would strongly advise not to do that at big tournaments, because that's just counterintuitive. You kind of hide in it behind your attack. Your opponent can forget about it, so it's not really kind to your opponents to place them like this. Okay, fetching down 12, so fetching the swamp. So now even with bird dead and no witness, I have access to black mana in case I really needed it. So Kitchen Fangs bounced me back to 14 and played out another bird, so I should be good, right? Here, so balls my face. So both reef balls hit my face, so which is kind of very aggressive. In response to those, maybe I should have tried to hit my fangs the cartel, something like this. I don't know. Another Swift Spear, sure. The first one is 3-4 now, thanks to Reef Balls. So that's gonna be tough. But I could always, yeah, I think the correct line is, I don't know. Jumping with the bird was kind of okay as well planned, but I could see different lines here. Didn't attack with the other Swift Spear, so that was good news for me. But I'm at 8, and well-timed Skullcrack or Atarka's command could really bust me up. So another cartel. I'm just passing the turn. He's considering like cracking the fetch here, but he probably thinks that I would sacrifice the things in response so that he can't command or skullcrack me. And there is a chance that I should have done it on his turn previously. I don't know. Blocking with cartels here. He goes to bolt my face before combat damage. I respond to that by casting Corridor Calling, tapping 2 mana, not the fetch, and tapping all my guys. So Cord for 2. Getting Anathema here. And I could see an argument to take out Spellskite here, or maybe crack a fetch and go for another Kitchen Things. It's really hard to say here. So I'm like threatening the combo here before the combat damage. And I think he had just like 1 card left in his hand or something like that. Something similar to that. So he had to have like a skull crack or something, but even that would mean that I wouldn't die here, because then I would be able to just continue this dance on my turn. So I think it was relatively safe, and this way with only 1 card in his hand, I think there was no way to get severely punished here. So yeah, he realizes that, well, nothing much he can do here, so he scoops up, and we move on to the next game. This will be a short match because it's really not a very complicated matchup, and because we wanted to record more that day, so we move straight onto the sideboarding. I have 2 Peps main decks, so that's why not that much removal coming up. I think at one big tournament I brought in Scholars a couple of times against burn decks, but I think during that day I had less of sideboard cards. I didn't have Secondus or the Eidolon of Rhetoric, but I did have like Decays and the Burns on first ender. So it's kind of odd. So I was trying out the Ooze and Eidolon because with that deck I also played against Affinity, so I was like trying the stuff out. This does feel a bit awkward, but like almost feels like I'm pre-boarding or tuning the deck according to the matchup. Oh well, I just wanted to tune my deck before the Magic Cup qualifier, but I think I would be removing those two from my sideboard because they feel kind of odd. So he's bringing in Helix's Paths, additional Skull Cracks. He was thinking about the volley, but it's kind of awkward because it only can hit like white creatures. Definitely taking out the red. Well, not definitely. I could actually see a point to keeping red cap as a way to like kill guides and eidolons and stuff. And Scream Levimancer, which is also annoying for the same reason. I think there is a good argument to keep Linvala because of Grim Levimancers and some 4 toughness blocker, stuff like that. I do trim like the combo a little bit, taking out 1 Seer, 1 Cartel and 1 Melira. Combo is quite important, but you don't want all of those numbers. I think if I wouldn't have 2 extra cards to board for this matchup like second Ooze and Eidolon, I probably would have kept Linval and Radcap in the deck. But I kind of feel like they're in general more effective against him. So it really depends on your sideboard. If you have more stuff to bring in like Courtfire Walker or like second Burnton first tender, which I don't hate at all in the deck. So yeah, like feel free to take out Linval and Radcap. But I do think like it's okay to take the to keep them in. On the other hand, I don't know what to cut. Like there's a chance that you may want to take out the Chords of Calling, but I only run 2, so I don't know. I think like stuff that I maybe should have taken out is Evo Leap. Yeah, so I think I should have taken out the Evo Leap. It's kind of slow in this matchup, and should have taken out Chords. They're good like to grab a Burnt on Force Tender, things like that, but on the other hand, I don't know. Plus I was also like running a Fin Hunter in the deck, so yeah, I think I misboarded quite a bit here. So the cards I brought in were definitely correct, and I think I should have taken way more stuff out and just bring in Scholars and keep Radcap and Linvala. So just so you know. I think it's kind of a trend right now with burn decks to play a couple of Lavamancer's main deck. So Linval actually is especially good, and Redcap as well. So yeah, Scholar is a good thing against burn because unlike Floodsays, which is obviously bad in this matchup, Scholar is an extra body and it forces them to kill it with a burn spell, or you could jump or trade their creatures with your own, and then the turn when they tap out, let's say like to cast Lava Spikes or suspend Rift Bolt, you can Scholar away a burn spell, which like a lightning bolt or something, and then they're forced to spend their burn spell on your creature, which you're always happy about. So that's why I really like it in this matchup. And it's one more reason why Scholar may be generally better than Foxes in your sideboard. I mulled my hand because I think among the lands it had, it was only like a township, so it was a no-brainer mulligan, down a 6 for me. Because we know each other's stacks, more or less, and it's a test match, so while I'm still shuffling, he goes with his turn 1. Plus it's burn deck, it's not like a deck with Serum Visions in it, so turn 1 Levimancer, which is pretty annoying. I do have DKs and paths for it, but here you see why I think I really misboarded and took out Slinval and Redcap. Again, Mulligan down to 5. Just had no lands, I think, like 0 lands, which is not a great place to be. So mulliganing against Burn is really rough, but I'm on the draw, so all hope is not lost, that's for sure. Because of the Goblin Guides, like, it's unfortunate that I had to like make the setup so you couldn't see the top decks, but we'll manage. Mulligan down to 4, so we're moving into very dangerous territory here. Really unfortunate, but this really brings me up like a huge challenge. Like, can I actually do something in this kind of situation? I'm on the draw, mulligan down to 4. Land, bird, thanks, could go a long way. If he cannot kill it, well, he probably will be able to because of fetches and a bunch of just burn spells. I bolt myself because of Marsh Flats and the Shocklands, and I cast Burton First Ender. This protects my future creatures, and also he then can't attack, and I can block his Goblin Guides and Swift Spears and stuff like that. So it was pretty good start after mulligan down to 4. But still, the odds were not good. The odds were not good. I think he cast a spike or bolt to my face or something like that. So now, tracking the fetch and probably keeping Levimancer up, for any of my future creatures, or just shock my face. Drew Bird, which is pretty strange here. I mean, puts me in an odd spot, but also puts him into an odd spot too. It would be like, well, with my mana screw, he would probably kill it. It doesn't really exhaust that many of his resources, but that means those 2 damage won't go to my face, so that's pretty good if you think about it this way. He untaps. The Force Tender is pretty annoying for him, as he actually admitted multiple times during this game. Tapped Stomping Ground. Because I'm a creature deck, it's actually wise for him not to take extra damage. Because if he would have played it untapped, he would be already at 14. And that's not cool. Goblin Guide staying there because it cannot attack free Force Tender. I'm taking 1 extra damage to cast a Voice, which might be a route to victory. If he kills it, I get an Elemental, so it kind of exhausts his resources until I get some ground in this game. Only 2 cards in my hand, and quite a few in his hand, but no action from him on turn 4. I want to remind you once again, this is mulligan down to 4. Okay, I was on the draw, but still, against Burn. second voice. Took extra damage from Horizon Canopy once again. Not really where you want to be, but with two voices it's actually pretty funky. For situations like this, I do really like to keep the voice because it kind of like bogs their mind, and if they don't play it out correctly, then they can kind of lose to it, to the tokens and so on. So and it makes them tap out on their turn. So voice is actually pretty good at racing against burn. Just saying. So he goes, so I attack with one voice, he goes to use Levimancer to shoot it down, which I'm totally okay with. I get an elemental token, which is now a free creature. At 12 life, this is actually fine spot. As surprising as it is. Boris Charm to my face. He's checking the grounds. This is the spot where I should have sacrificed the Force Tender, because next comes down Eidolon. And now I'm at 8, facing this very tricky board. Then I'm faced with a very tough decision. I think I drew a third land, but it's a fetch, which is very annoying. And I'm facing down Eidolon. And Green the Levimancer can always shoot my face as well. So essentially I should have sacrificed the Force Tender here. I'm trying to do something here, attacking with the 3/3 and the voice. He's happy to take 3 and trade with the voice. I think I have an Eternal Witness in my hand, but it's not gonna be good, because I would have to take at least 2 damage to cast it, and then take 2 more from Eidolon by casting it. And 4 is definitely not a place I want to be. But he's at 12. Force Tender keeps like him a little bit in check. And if I could find like some cheap creatures to cast, or like a way to deal with Eidolon, I'm in fine spot. Hypothetically. Hit a swamp. So Witness only gonna deal me 5 damage. So very odd spot. But I do want to like force action on his side, so I attack with both guys. Remind you, they're both 3/3s right now. He doesn't want to go too low on life. So what he tries to do is block and then finish off the token. In response to that, I crack the fetch, get a basic forest, so I'm at 7. So the thing is that this turn I drew like Collected Company, which I'm going to cast here. This Horizon Canopy is really basically costing me the whole game. I think if not it, and I would have actually won this game. So Collected Company is gonna make my guys bigger, and Levimancer is not going to be able to kill my guy. I hit 2 Kitchen Finks off the company, which is like the dream scenario. But the Skullcrack is the most annoying part here. Not only it prevents me from gaining life, it also says, unlike a target's command, the damage can't be prevented. So the Force Tender cannot stop it. I mean, the damage from the skull crack, and it's lethal. So this is how, even with correct plays, with a bit of unfortunate draws, even after mulling another 4, you can actually win with Abzan Company on the draw against Burn in Modern. Just notice how much work did voices and Force Tender do in this matchup. The Kitcan is not really surprising to have this kind of impact. Okay, this wasn't exactly lethal, but any bolt kills me here. And but he's at 5, because he took 5 damage from that unblocked voice. Well, and he hits like the second skull crack, which is like the dream scenario here. Serene Blaze like wouldn't do anything here, because I would just prevent it with the Force Tender. It had to be double skull crack here. This is how ridiculous this game is. Because actually Bolt wouldn't be lethal because of Force Tender. It had to be double skull crack. And he couldn't really play much because of his own Eidolon, so just ridiculous game. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Have fun at your World Magic Cup qualifier. I'll hit an article about company today, so hopefully you can read it in time. Until the next sale, goodbye.